Hello, happy Tuesday. It's T, your joyful parent guide and harmonizer, and I am here with the next tip from Aletha Solter's book, Raising Drug-Free Kids. So yesterday it was tip 5, which was get support if you are the child of an alcoholic. And today it's tip 6, which is protect your child from physical and sexual abuse. And of course, on its face, no one would have any argument with that, right? It's totally logical. Of course, we're going to do that. So we're just going to dive a little deeper into some of the sticky things that can be involved with this. And the reason why that this is a thing in a book about drugs is that, it's sort of like causality, right? When drug companies do studies and they're like, oh, well, studies show that this is correlated with this, but they're not really sure what causes what, and it's really more complicated. It's like that with the trauma of physical abuse and sexual abuse, and then sort of the self-abuse of drugs. There is some kind of interaction in not all humans that experience one, but enough that we see it that we want to take a look at physical and sexual abuse in a book that's really about keeping kids drug-free. And so number 1 here is you don't want to leave your child, no matter how old they are, no matter if they're 1 month versus 11 years. If you have to leave a child with someone for a night, for a date maybe, or for a longer period of time, don't leave any child with someone that you don't 100% trust, even if it's somebody in your family. Okay, you would not sacrifice your child's well-being on the altar of, oh, I don't want to offend Aunt Sally or Uncle Henry or whatever, my mom or my dad, like whatever it is. If you don't feel 100% congruent, don't do it. And then if you don't feel 100% congruent, but you're not sure of yourself and you're doubting yourself, engage someone else that you trust, whether it's your co-parent, your partner, your trusted friend and confidant, a therapist, a coach, someone in a conversation to help support you in making the decision if it feels overwhelming and scary and wrong. Like, bring it all out there, and they can help you to see more clearly and without judgment. Okay. Also, another key thing there is if your child had been always looking forward to a babysitter coming over, or always been looking forward to an after-school program, or whatever the case may be, and there's a sudden change in how they're feeling about it, that can really be an indicator that there's something wrong, and that something could be a bully or physical abuse or some other abusive dynamic. So don't brush that off. Okay, so let's see. There were a couple of other things. All right. Also, if you inherited this kind of trauma, if you grew up and you had the trauma of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, then all of us who grew up and had an experience like that, sort of make a vow to ourselves, right, that we are not going to impart that on the next generation, on our kids. And then we keep that locked up, and sometimes we keep that locked up, and we feel like, oh, well, I don't need to go, and I don't need therapy. I'm over it, whatever it is. And some of that unconscious, just deeply held trauma starts trying to come out because we haven't dealt with it already. And so the message here is that the truly courageous thing to do is to humble yourself enough to go get the support that you need and to receive that support. That's a more courageous thing to do than like, oh, you know, I'm okay, I'll do it and I'll muddle through and I got this. It's way more courageous to humble yourself, receive the support so that you can break that that dynamic, really change that dynamic for future generations in your family. And who doesn't want that? And at the price of humbling yourself, it seems like it's probably a worthwhile price to pay when you think about it that way. Okay, I want to say I am super thrilled because a whole bunch of people came in and joined the free Facebook group, and I think I still have a few requests to go in there and accept. So I'm super excited. If you did that yesterday, then your homework is to come on in there and just say hello. Just say hello in the group. That's it. And if you didn't do it, I'm going to put the link in there again for you to join the Relational Parents Free Facebook community. Just a completely judgment-free, welcoming, encouraging, and supportive community of fabulous parents. And it's not like we're talking, we will encourage and support anyone who needs anything. But we also talk about cool things that we're doing with our kids and things that we're looking forward to and things that we did when we were kids. And it's a really lovely community. So I invite you to join us, and I will put the link in the first comment below. So until tomorrow, I'll take my leave. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.